Hello, I'm Bernard Hickey from interest.co.nz and welcome to 90 at 9, brought to you in association with the BNZ. This is your morning briefing where you get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, starting now with news of more revelations of details of Hanover Finance's loan book. Personal guarantees were forgiven by Mark Hotchin and Eric Watson for developers who had been lent money by Hanover Finance. This was in the last couple of weeks before those loans were handed over to Allied Farmers. Allied Farmers is furious. It says it looks like Hotchin was helping his mates before the ship went down. Those developers are now, quote, smiling like cats because of these guarantees forgiven in those last couple of weeks. Mark Hotchin has confirmed the guarantees were forgiven, but says it wasn't a problem. This was part of loan arrangements that were made in the last couple of weeks. Meanwhile, in China, some guarantees given by local governments to banks have been nullified by the central government. This is all about slowing lending growth in China, one for us to watch. And finally, in Iceland, a referendum about loans given to IceSave, £3.5 billion worth, has been rejected by the Icelandic people overnight. 90% or more voted against this deal, which would have saddled each Icelander with $135 a month in repayments for 8 years. This is all about Icelandic banks who borrowed money from British and Dutch people before the financial crisis. And when the financial crisis hit, those banks couldn't repay the loans. Eventually, the governments in Britain and Holland bailed out those banks, and now the British and Dutch government want the money back from Icelandic voters, who are now saying no. And this really raises some questions about globalisation and also about bailouts. Essentially, these bailouts all come down to sovereign debt. And who owns sovereign debt, or who has to repay it? Voters. And the Icelandic voters have said no. I'm Bernard Hickey. That was 90 at 9, brought to you in association with the BNZ.